Dear students, today's video lesson for semester 2 students in English is The Reluctant Philanthropist, written by Gollapudi Srinivasa Rao. It is a short story. Gollapudi Srinivasa Rao is a bilingual writer. So before going into detail of this short story, let us know who is a philanthropist. Philanthropist is a person who donates money for a good cause. Is a person who seeks to promote the welfare of others, especially with the generous donation of money to good causes. He is a philanthropist. He donates money for the welfare of the people, needy. So reluctant means unwilling, so we can say the unwilling philanthropist. So he is not willing to donate money. Okay, and another word we come across in the short story is NRI, non-resident Indian. A person from India who is living in a different country is called NRI, non-resident India. Okay. So in our country, many people move out in search of better opportunities for education and career to countries like America, Australia, New Zealand. After going there, getting a good job, lucrative job, that job, the money, the dollars bind those individuals, and they don't come back home. They don't come back to their home country, India. So many parents wait for their children in a hope that someday they will come back. So this story highlights the plight of such parents who have nobody to look after them and yet nurture the hope that someday their wards will return. We see so many parents around us that their children, young children, go to abroad for education. After their education, they settle there and they won't come back. The dollars, the money, the lucrative job binds them. Here in India, old age parents wait for them. So we see the plight of such parents around us in our society. So this is the story about those kind of parents who have nobody to look after them. Okay. So let us know about the author. Gollapudi Srinivasa Rao hails from Kottagudem of Khammam district in Telangana, and also he holds a PhD in Human Resource Management. He is a journalist by profession and also works for the Hindu Warangal, the Hindu newspaper. He received Best Journalist Award in 2004 for his stories on women empowerment and illicit liquor menace in tribal areas. By vocation, he is a bilingual short story writer and translator. Vocation means the work you feel very interested, you spend your time and energy. It's called by that is vocation. So by vocation is a bilingual short story writer and translator. A talented writer has a sensitive eye for social realities. His stories and characters are rooted in the soil and bear close resemblance to lived experiences. He has several stories to his credit both in Telugu and English. His English stories were published in Pratibha India, The Statesman, and MuseIndia.com. MuseIndia.com, it's an online journal. Okay. See, this story, the reluctant philanthropist deals with the hypocrisy of people settle abroad. Hypocrisy means they are double tongued. No, that is hypocrisy. Who indulge in charity back home for the sake of popularity but neglect their own kin. Okay. So this is called a, you know, so who is a hypocrite? The person who pretends to have a certain beliefs when they really do not. Those are called hypocrites. So this story is about Rakesh, a young NRI who gets inspired by the slogan, "Do something for your motherland." So main character is Rakesh in the short story is an young NRI. So he was inspired by a slogan, that is, "Do something for your motherland, do something for your country." So let us see what are the characters in the story. Main character Rakesh and his colleagues Rajeshwar, Deekshit, Revan Reddy are his colleagues. So in this story, his colleagues and NRIs, they talked about the things that appeared strange to Rakesh. The NRIs were flying back with a motto, flying back home with a motto, "Do something for your country." So many NRIs were going back to India with noble aims. So to do something to their native village, to their home country, because they earned so much money, so much many dollars in the foreign, so they have money. Now they want to do something for their country. So here, but a few among these vote to dedicate their lives at the service of the people with the underlying motive to earn a name for themselves in politics. Motive means a design. Okay. So some people, some NRIs, they have some design that to earn a name for themselves in politics. If they go back their country, they can join politics with the name earned by donating money in the villages or constructing temples, hospitals in their native villages. So that is their underlying motive, to earn a name for themselves in politics. Here some people, some NRI send their children to India to make them conversant with their mother tongues and Indian culture. So that is also a reason for sending their children to India, because in their society, in their American society, they lack this Indian culture, and they don't speak uh, mother tongue. So to make them conversant with their mother tongue, NRIs are sending their children to India. And also NRIs also fear that their children might lose their identities or would find difficult to adjust to Indian ways in the days to come, if ever the need so arises. If the need arises, if he loses a job, if he has to go back to his home country India, at that time they may face problems, their children may face problems, because they lose their identity, they can't identify themselves with the Indian people. So that will become a problem, so that these NRIs are sending their children to home, to back home. The Rakesh colleagues Rajeshwar, Dikshit and Revan Reddy, they had just returned from India. They went to India and spent some time there, and did some charity. So his colleagues Rajeshwar, Dikshit and Revan Reddy, they were talking to themselves how they did their how they spent their valuable time in India, and also their experience. They are speaking about their experiences in their native villages. They had gone to visit their villages after so many years. So they are speaking about their experiences. So Rakesh listened to all these things, all these things, whatever they are talking. So he was very curious. So the NRI slogan, the new slogan of the NRIs in the USA: "Do something for your motherland." Okay, so this inspired Rakesh colleague Rajeshwar. So Rajeshwar donated a sum of rupees 1 lakh to the local school in his native village. That school lacks funds and infrastructure. So this Rajeshwar donated 1 lakh rupees to that local school. So then the whole village gathered to garland him, and they held a big meeting showing praise on Rajeshwar. So village elders exhorted the people to follow Rajeshwar's lead. Local newspapers, reporters from the electronic media, all eulogized, praised his generosity, Rajeshwar's generosity. So Rajeshwar felt very happy, and another colleague Dikshit also did something that made his villagers proud. He donated rupees 2 lakhs for the purpose of building a temple in his village. So villagers love, respect towards Dikshit, and he was very happy. So villagers assembled there to celebrate a grand inaugural function of the temple. All people praised Mr. Dikshit for donating rupees 2 lakh for building a temple. Then is another colleague, Revan Reddy. Revan Reddy did also something exceptional. He went back to his village and entered into an agreement with a local MLA. So his village didn't have a hospital all these years, and the people had to travel 8 kilometers for any medical aid. So they were in need of a hospital. So during his childhood days, Revan Reddy heard people die of snake bite midway through their way to the nearest hospital. So he told local MLA he would get a building raised with his money and asked him to use his good offices to get doctors posted. So district collector, who came to learn this Reddy's kind gesture, extended his helping hand and built a hospital there with the money donated by Revan Reddy. So villagers raised Reddy to the level of a Messiah, to the level of Jesus. They praise him as a God. Okay, it was building a hospital was a long pending dream to the villagers. So while his friends went on talking endlessly about India and her problems, Rakesh remained silent. He felt bad for he had nothing to talk about. So Rakesh disliked the very idea of going back to India, but he told himself, I am the one who is lagging hopelessly behind. So Rakesh thought of doing something noble and different. He wanted to do something different than his friends. So Rakesh's idea was to build an old age home in his village. He applied his mind that old age home is a new idea in India, which is already popular in USA, but this concept is new in India. Old age homes are very rare in India. So he thought it is good to construct an old age home in his village. So he contacted his friends. All of you know a rich man has more friends and servants at his command. So he's a rich man, he has lot of money. He contacted his friends in the village and they helped him to complete the project. So when Rakesh was distributing close to the aged people in the inauguration of the program, Rakesh was distributing close to the aged people. He was shocked to see an old man with trembling hands trying to gather strength to receive his share. He looked straight at him. His hands supported him from tumbling. His eyes lit up. His heart ached. For the very first time in his life, he started feeling helpless, and thoughts of old age, frailty, and loneliness seized him. So, seeing an old man in the queue, Rakesh was shocked. He trembled. His heart ached. It pained him a lot. This thing happened in his life for first time. So here writer doesn't state the details of the old man, but he could be any parent who has been deserted by his own children or is the father of the NRI himself. Here Rakesh, we were shocked that the old man may be his own father, or a father of an NRI, or a father of fa- his friend. So here we writer doesn't state the details of old man. We don't know who is old man here. He may be his father, he may be a father of NRI, or his friend's father, or the old man may be abandoned by his children. So with this we finish the short story. So let us see what are the points to discuss in the short story. So there is hypocrisy of NRS. Here NRS, this story deals with the hypocrisy of people settled abroad who indulge in charity back home for the sake of popularity, but neglect their own kin, but neglect their own parents. They speak volumes of charity, but they neglect their own parents. They leave them in India in their old age, in their illness. They settle in abroad. They don't care, they don't take care of their parents. That is the hypocrisy you can see in the short story. Here, irony. Irony is that here on one hand they donate money, they become philanthropists, but on the other hand they neglect their parents, their own parents. That is the irony we see in the short story. So underlying motive, the underlying motive is that the design is that they want to earn name for themselves in politics. So that is the motive of the NRS, of a few NRS. Next point is identity of NRS children. Here NRS children face identity crisis. They can't identify themselves with the Indians, and also they can't identify with the American or foreigners in their foreign country. So there arises identity crisis. They face the issue of identity. Okay. So these NRIs also think that their children may lose identity, so that's why they send their children frequently to the home country, to India. So if you want to read the story, visit author's blog gollapudi.blogspot.com. Thank you for listening.